Hi my friends, it's Mark here again, and I'm in my kitchen and I'm going to make this absolutely delicious and wonderful carrot cake for you that you can share with your family and friends on those festive occasions like Easter and Christmas. And I'm going to give you 3 incredible tips that will take your cake making to the next level, and so you can wow your family and friends with it. So before you start your carrot cake, preheat your oven at 180 degrees Celsius or 350 degrees Fahrenheit and butter and flour your 9-inch cake tin. And the first thing we're going to do is cream our butter, which I've got about 150 grams or 5 ounces of butter and 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar. And we're just going to slowly blend that in, and make sure your butter's soft, otherwise it'll be much harder to cream. And one of the big tips I told you about is the more you cream your butter and sugar and get that sugar dissolve and get it into a really soft consistency, the softer and lighter your cake's going to be. So that's been beating for about a couple of minutes, and I'm just going to add my 3 eggs now and my the rind of 1 orange. That just gives it a really beautiful taste, and half a teaspoon of nutmeg and a teaspoon of cinnamon. I'm just going to mix those through and get them to combine well. Okay, so now this is all mixed up, and I'm just going to pop the rest of this in here. So after we've creamed the butter and the eggs and the sugar, I'm just going to add some walnuts, which is about 3/4 of a cup, to about a cup of carrots that I've just grated. And I've got a tablespoon of my flour, and I'm just going to mix that through the carrot. And the reason we do this for is that this will stop the carrot and the walnuts from sinking down to the bottom of the cake. And if you don't do this, the cake just seems to get bottom heavy, if you know what I mean. So before we fold everything together, I've got 1 cup of flour here with a teaspoon of baking powder and a teaspoon of bicarbonate soda and half a teaspoon of salt. And I'm just going to put this into the cake by sifting it through first. And I'm just going to throw my carrots and walnuts in here too, because I want to work this batter as least as I possibly can. So I'm just going to gently fold this in. So the secret lies in the fact that to make a really light and fluffy cake is to not overwork the batter when you put the flour into the butter and sugar and egg mix, is just to gently fold it in. Now that's just about right for me, and I'm just going to leave it alone there. And we're going to put this into our cake tin and bake it in the oven for about 30 minutes to 35 minutes. So while the cake's in the oven cooking, we're going to make our topping for our cake, and I've got 2 cups of icing sugar there, and I've got 3 tablespoons of butter, and I've got 4 ounces or 125 grams of cream cheese and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And we're just going to slowly bring this together. So that's what it looks like when it's finished. It's nice and creamy, and we can spread this on our cake when it's cooled. And a couple of additions that you can add that are really interesting is a little bit of cinnamon or some lime or lemon juice, say half a tablespoon to a tablespoon, and that just will give it another edge altogether. So try those little combinations if you want to try something different. So now that our cake is cooled, I'm just going to put our cream cheese topping on top, and we're just going to spread that out. So the last step is sprinkling some of these walnuts all over the top. Sorry guys, I couldn't wait for this to film this one. I've already taken a bite, so I've had, this is my second bite. And this carrot cake is incredible. It's light, it's fluffy. The cinnamon and the citrus through the cake is divine with a creamy cream cheese topping is absolutely fantastic. So remember those 3 tips to get a perfect cake. 1, make sure you beat the butter and the sugar really well. Second tip is to put some flour through the carrot and the walnuts so they don't sink to the bottom. And number 3, to not overwork the batter when you add the flour. And that will give you this beautiful texture of a cake that all your friends and family will think you're a genius, and that you're a reincarnation of your lost long grandmother. So that's it for me. So subscribe to my channel, comment, and any questions, put them in the comments below, and I'll see you next time with my next video.